we need to talk about something crazy that we saw with people who own XRP. This is very important, so we will talk about it in great detail. First, let's do a few things. First, let's go back to August 8th, when Ripple did post something. There was a movie where we talked about this, but it was released about the change to tokenization. It's not just a style anymore. The way people around the world handle money is changing because of it. This is how RBOs are going to be on the chain with safe custody at the administrative level in all of these areas. I am not going to begin at the beginning and go into broad terms about this. We're most interested in how the market for tokenized goods is expanding. First, there are more stocks and money market funds in the EU and the US. Things are starting to happen. Thanks to agricultural receivables, access to the countryside in Latin America is rising. Also, that's becoming important. People in Southeast Asia can get organized loans and trade finance. We already know that trade finance was XDC when we talk about it. It was supposed to be on chain. Almost every time we talk about money for trade. Real estate will become tokenized when ownership, alts, and the land department are added to the XRP record. This is a big deal. It's because markets like the real estate market around the world are worth a lot of money and are starting to move in a chain. It's very important. It also shows what will happen here in the coming weeks, months, and years. It's even stranger how much attention is being paid to the XRP scheme. A lot of people talk about the XRP system as if it won't be used for anything in the real world like tokenization. To be fair, a lot of people are missing the bigger picture here. Ripple is one of the main companies that makes tokenized RWS possible on chain. This is especially true when you think about how the custody side of the market has built a whole system around this. Tokenized valuable things need to be kept safe in order for them to move on the blockchain and be used in the real world. Today, we can see that Singapore is moving tokenization from test projects to general use. This will make it easier for people to get access to regulated finance and make them more grown up. CEO and VP of AP at Ripple, Fiona Murray, talks about how this change is caused by new laws and blockchain technology on the XRP system. Once more, pay attention to the XRP record. In fact, this is really cool. I'll say more about this soon, but for now, I want you all to know how to aim it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the most important things that allow tokenized assets to be fully valued in trade, finance, foreign exchange, private equity, and institutional loans. The first reason public blockchains were made was so that people could trade goods. They've grown up since then and can now be used for more complicated things, like showing RWAs as traded digital assets. This change could make the world's banking system more open, efficient, and universal, encompassing stablecoins, real estate, goods, and ideas. This should live in the XRP system. This also creates a 19 trillion market chance. We love seeing this. Everything is broken down by them. This is what's happening with the XRP system. A lot of the tokenization moves around too. That's how I really feel. I think that the XRP system and all the new features that have been added through this big push and shift toward tokenized RWRs right now these days, I don't think many people are interested in this. Now that we think about it, what's the big deal about what happened? What is this? A thought? I don't know if this is an RWA bug, XYZ, but the overall RW value of all the changes in XRP went through the roof and is now over 1 billion. XRP is the second largest layer 1 network in terms of total RWA value. ZKNC is the largest layer 2 network in the tokenization space this fast. Thinks RP record has 1.1 billion units, which we can see. XRP under ZK-Sync is third on the list. Level 2 is ZK-Sync. I already said that XRP has the second most RWA value on the link for first level networks. It was clear that the RWA value of public networks as a whole has also gone up a lot in the last 30 days, now being worth almost a 15 billion. I don't even think RWA is right about XRP, XYZ is right, but that big jump is possible because there are currently 1.1 billion 18 RWA assets on the chain. This is all from Vert Capital. I do not know if Ripple shared the Vert Capital news with anyone. I understand that the first company to do this was Ripple XDV. Vert Capital, on the other hand, used the blockchain to tokenize more than $1 billion. I know that XDC also helped with that. Right now, though, it's clear that these networks are going through a big change, and XRP is getting a lot of this value. This is really exciting. The XRP ledger has a lot of tokenized assets. Private credit is by some most important one because Vert has a lot of money tied to it. The amount of money in it is almost 1 billion. It seems like a little more than 800 million to 900 million. It looks like Vert now has 5 assets that are tokenized on the XRP record chain. This one is the first one. It costs about 48.5 million. These are also connected to 125 million, 100 and 300 million, and 330 million. Also, this is very exciting because I already said Capital used to tokenize on a few networks. Now, it looks like most of their money is tied to the XRP system. Thanks for telling us. I thought this would grow, but I'm not sure if Vert Capital is being tracked here. It looked like it was I really thought it would bring up a new page. Most of the time it does. In this case, XRP is the second one that we can see if I open Eden. I'm sorry about that so far. I think they've only added this to RDUA to XYZ. However, we could see that XRP is the main one for some of these tokenized assets. But this is really great news. You can make out a clear, there is proof that the XRP tokenized market is about to get really big. But we've heard from Marcus and Vagger, two well-known Ripple workers, that tokenizing real-world assets won't happen all of a sudden like most new technology. Things will change over time. When early financial markets moved from paper records to fully electronic ones, the same thing happened. It took some time to happen. Step-by-step plans are being made for the growth of tokenized goods. The law and buildings, things that have been around for a long time, are still important for letting businesses use new tech. For example, special purpose vehicles, SPVs help big companies use blockchain by keeping things in real treasuries and real estate off chain and putting digital tokens on chain. They use well-known business models and legal systems to do this. SPVs are not the goal though. The real value is in the goods that are given out on the chain itself. This change isn't just a better use of technology. It has a whole new way to think about money in which rules are followed by code and settlement takes place right away in real time. This is the main change. This is also a part of Ripple's blog post from August 12th about why special purpose cars are not the end in themselves. They're not more on the computer side as we can see. They only say that the change has been going on for a while. It has been a long trip, though. We look ahead, we can see that this is native issue in locally issued on-chain assets, securities, credit instruments, and real estate that are born digital. This is where the real chance and change lie. Use the code to make sure people follow it and settle without court wrappers. This isn't just a fix for your computer. When you use native issue, it changes the way you think about money. The law says that the token of proof follow-through is built into the structure at every level. It's not broken up. Liquidity can be put together. Deals about child rights and now loyalty can be taught. As a public blockchain made money, this is where the XRP system really shines. Direct issue composability and scripting at the institutional level are both possible with the XP ledger. Some very important things that RDUA tokenization needs to work at its